This is Finland. He is happy. This is Afghanistan. She is incredibly depressed. How did this happen? There are some obvious explanations for why certain countries would be completely miserable. In Afghanistan's case, well, I don't think anyone would like it if the Taliban saw their country, decided it was free real estate, and proceeded to invade, occupy, obliterate human rights, and start killing people. And everyone just kind of looks away and lets it happen. When I die, I want my friends to lower me into my grave so they can let me down one last time. Well, anyways, okay, we've established that terrorism makes people unhappy. Understandable. Other things that generally make people unhappy include poor standards of living, low income and economic growth, lack of education, and absence of human rights. There are 6 variables that the World Happiness Report uses to analyze which factors most impact the overall happiness of a nation. These variables include GDP per capita, social support, healthy life expectancy, freedom to make life choices, generosity, and perception of corruption. There is a 7th measure called residual, which is supposed to be representative of reasons for happiness other than the 6 factors previously mentioned, but we're going to focus on the ones that actually serve to explain why certain countries are happier than others. Generally, European countries rank highest on the list of happiest countries. The 8 most happiest countries in the world are in Europe: Finland, Denmark, Iceland, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Sweden, and Norway. As for the 3 strongest European countries, Germany, France, and the United Kingdom, they fall into 14th, 20th, and 17th place respectively. The countries that I like to think of as the most significant offspring of the British Empire typically score relatively high. New Zealand comes in at 10th place, Australia at 12th, Canada at 15th, and the United States at 16th. But back to Europe. According to the 2022 World Happiness Report, Ukraine is the least happy country in Europe, coming in at 98th place. My life is one massive joke, except it's so bad it's not even funny. I can make it worse for you. Would you like that? You suck. 146 countries in total were included in the study, meaning about 2/3 of the world is happier than Ukraine. This makes sense, and not just in light of the 2022 Russian invasion. According to the World Bank, Ukraine has the lowest GDP per capita in all of Europe. It's interesting to note, though, that the least happy country in Europe is still happier than 1/3 of the entire world. Sorry for being the person who talks more about Europe than the other continents. It's not because I'm a white supremacist, it's because they're statistically happier. So, on the subject of Ukraine being depressed, let's take a look at the most depressed continent. Most of Africa scored very low on the list of most to least happy countries, which isn't surprising given the fact that the majority of the countries there are still developing. The lowest scoring African country was Zimbabwe, the 3rd most unhappy country. The happiest was Mauritius, a tiny island you've probably never heard of, coming in as the 52nd most happy country. Generally, Africa is not a very happy place. This is mainly due to poverty, conflict, and food insecurity. Let's head to the Middle East now. Metaphorically speaking, I do not want to travel there. I know that the Middle East is technically a region of Asia, but given how different the circumstances are in the Middle East specifically compared to the rest of Asia, I will be talking about it independently. The happiest Middle Eastern country is Israel, coming in at 9th place in the world. No real surprise there, given it's arguably the most stable country in the Middle East, which is a low bar, but anyways. According to the World Bank, Israel has the 2nd highest GDP per capita in the Middle East, averaging $52,000, surpassed only by Qatar, which is filthy rich because we Americans will trade all our worldly possessions for that sweet, succulent oil. So how about Palestine? Well, Palestine supporters aren't going to like this one, but it scored 122nd out of the 146 countries surveyed. Yikes. It's not hard to see why, as aside from political turmoil and a questionable human rights status, the GDP per capita in Palestine is just over $3,660. The least happy Middle Eastern country, and the least happy of all the countries surveyed, as previously mentioned, is Afghanistan. Not only is Afghanistan extremely unwealthy, but the Taliban is there making everything a whole lot worse. Moving farther east, we get to the main part of Asia. Taiwan at 26th place is the happiest country there, closely followed by Singapore at 27th. As for the main powerhouses of the continent, Japan ranks 54th, South Korea 59th, China 72nd, and India 136th. South Korea's obnoxiously aggressive neighbor was not involved in the survey.
Yeah, I'm too busy trying to piss everyone off.
Want to know a fun fact? Nobody asked, and nobody cares.
Oh yeah, maybe a preemptive nuclear bomb might make you care.
Guys, please.
I hate it here.
Across the Pacific onto the Americas, we'll take a look at the three biggest countries in the north. As said before, Canada scored 15th and the United States 16th. Mexico comes in 46th place, which is quite a large disparity. The rest of the offspring of the Spanish Empire rank pretty differently. Costa Rica is the most happy Latin American country, and the 23rd happiest in the world. The lowest scoring one, the 108th happiest country, is Venezuela. Venezuela is a mess. I don't have time to get into all of the reasons why this is the case if I want to get this project done on time, but the main problem is hyperinflation. You'd think that we would have already learned that printing more money doesn't make you more wealthy. Like, come on, guys. The Weimar Republic died for our sins. Or something. I have no idea what I'm doing. As for the happiness of different countries, honorable mention to Bhutan for having a gross national happiness index instead of a gross domestic product index. Bhutan wasn't involved in the World Happiness Report survey, but I just thought it was interesting. Also, Bhutan has a banger flag. Look at that thing. Everyone else needs to step up their game. So I need to make this video 8 minutes long to take full advantage of ad revenue and stuff because I'm gonna have to pay for college in the future, and if I can generate like $10 from this video, that will help. Probably not that much, but I'm doing it anyway. Also, I wanted to give you guys a little update because I haven't posted anything in like 8 years. So the main reason for that is school. I'm in 12th grade now, so I have to deal with college applications and all that stuff. And recently I've just been really exhausted and too tired to work on videos most of the time, but October is a really busy month for me in general for a multitude of reasons. So hopefully I'll have better adjusted to my schedule soon, and I'll be able to find the time and energy to actually make videos. I hope you can understand that at this point in my life I kind of have to put my education above making silly videos about sentient flags because, you know, I actually want to be able to have a job later in life that will enable me to pay for basic human necessities. Like, yo, listen, we failed as a species the moment we started paying money for water, but alright, I think that's about it, to be honest. I don't really know what else to say, and I have a headache, so I think I'm gonna go sit in a dark room for 3 hours. Have a good day, and remember to not be a terrorist, because that hurts people's feelings.